So it's a good segue here right now because we were talking about tickets and monetizing and sponsorship, and there's a couple of things that I've seen you guys do. Two things in particular. Most recently, the Fly the Beard campaign that you have going on with one of your sponsors, Virgin America. And then the dynamic deals that I also see you guys promoting once in a while too. So let's talk about the Virgin America partnership that you guys have first of all. And for those people that don't know, I'll maybe let you explain it, Brian. But it's a Virgin plane with Brian Wilson's beard on it.
Well, it's a Virgin America plane with a beard. There's obviously Brian Wilson might be our most famous beard, but we also, I think in 2010 our entire bullpen had beards, and now Brian Wilson has a beard, Sergio Romo has a beard, a few other guys kind of grow beards and whatnot. So beards became, and that was more of a
team-wide thing now.
Yeah, the fans kind of made the moniker "Fear the Beard" popular, and fans, we have children wearing beards, we have babies wearing beards, dogs with beards. So if you come to a game in San Francisco, you see a lot of crazy things. You see, Tim Lincecum wigs. You see Brian Wilson beards. Mm-hmm. Virgin America is obviously an airline, and they're, to me, obviously they're sponsored. But aside from that, one of the more innovative companies just in general. And I think any marketing person should just study what they do and appreciate what they do. I'm learning a lot from them, just watching them on Twitter and Facebook and what they do in the social media circles. I mean, and then they're following what people are doing on food trucks. I mean, so they're just such a very, to me, one of the more innovative companies in the world. So I think we're really lucky to have them as a partner. This year, they're actually the partner of our. They named our club level. It's the Virgin America Club level, and if you've ever ridden, I don't know if you've flown, Trevor, on a Virgin flight.
I have not yet. No.
I highly recommend it. It's probably the cool. It makes flying. I mean, and it's everything from the minute you check in. It's that branded experience.
Right.
It's really a unique experience for flying, and so that kind of lends to their I think sponsorship and sports goes hand in hand, and and obviously we're in this business to activate sponsorships, and sometimes sponsors do a better job of activating what they do with a team than others, and I think Virgin does a fantastic job of really activating that sponsorship, and naming a Giants plane, and they didn't just put the Giants logo on there; they actually painted the beard on the nose. And they've dubbed it "Fly the Beard" with a hashtag, and
right.
There's going to be a Twitter photo contest that they're running. There's going to be Giants content on the plane, on the video, and so they've kind of created this unique experience of flying and the Giants together. And when you come to the ballpark, the club level reminds you of being in the plane with the lighting and the ambiance. There's going to be an area that they call the flight deck that has fire pits and it's outdoors with views of the city that's somewhat separate. So, there's some cool things that we're working with Virgin on, and they're working with us. And so, the other one that's kind of interesting is Toyota's doing an interesting sponsorship as they're using Buster Posey, our Giants catcher, as a spokesperson, and they're doing some unique kind of experience package contest with him, and we're gonna be posting some things on our Facebook and our Twitter in conjunction with Buster, who just joined Twitter this spring and who's been on Facebook and does a fantastic job. His team helps him with that. So Toyota's kind of activating and using not just Buster's social media presence, but the Giant social media and our website, kind of activating all of those platforms to kind of connect with Giants fans and Buster Posey fans. So that's another kind of example of using social media in a team, because a lot of teams, and us too, we're trying to figure out what's the best way to activate in the social space. Is it just putting up a link to hey, try this out, or is it coming up with a contest, coming up with a scavenger hunt, doing something unique? And again, this is the future, I think, of sports and sponsorship.
No doubt. I think you're speaking to exactly what that future is, which isn't really overly that complicated. Integration, right?
Yeah.
They're sponsoring that club level. They're doing the on the grounds activities during the game, and if you can transfer that online and have the two working together, you've kind of created this perfect storm, right? And I'm really glad we got a chance to talk about that because the Virgin example, in particular, is a great example of how they've really been able to kind of integrate their brand with yours too. Even the hashtag that they're using on Twitter, "Fly the Beard," fear the beard, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I mean, and that goes more to their team. But I think the ability for us to work with them and provide that platform for them, and I think they're also attracted to our fans because we're so active with them on Twitter and on Facebook. And I think that's part of it. A lot of people say, "What's the ROI and how do you monetize?" And I guess don't worry about that. To me, the first part is creating. Give sponsors a chance to want to work with you because you have such an engaged audience, and and when they see the numbers and they look at, wow, look how the Giants are engaging with fans on Facebook, look how they're engaging on Twitter, look at their they're very active and it's a passionate group. That becomes very attractive, and it becomes much easier for your sales team to figure out a way to sell and to work with. So I think my job isn't to create revenue streams in sponsorship. My job is to create successful social media engagement opportunities, I guess you could say. And I'm a creative mind. I'm always kind of thinking of new ways to do that, but it's a lot easier for me to or for our team to go to a sponsor and say, hey, do you want to work add this to your marketing activation mix, and so I think that's a huge key for us.
I'm really glad you brought that up too, because one of the questions I wanted to ask you was how you work with the other departments, because you're right, you have your partnership, sponsorship departments, your marketing, your ticket sales, and they're not necessarily keeping their finger on the pulse of all the opportunities that are in this space, but you are. And of course, talking internally is hugely valuable when it comes to those moments when the sponsors come to the team and say, we want to do some of this social media stuff you guys have been talking about, but where do we start, right? So how do you guys approach that? Do you meet internally on a weekly basis? Is it kind of a back and forth? How does it all work?
Yeah, I mean, there's constant meetings. There's a lot of emails. It depends. I mean, you brought up earlier our dynamic deals. I mean, for those who don't know, the Giants, we use a dynamic pricing model. So each game, each ticket has a different price based on demand. So opening day, weekend series versus the Dodgers, anytime Tim Lincecum pitches, the ticket demand is going to be a little higher. Prices are going to move. It's modeled almost after the airline industry. So the earlier you buy, the better deal you'll get on tickets. So our season ticket holders always get the best deals on tickets.
Right.
With that being said, of course, opening day prices are going to be a little bit higher because they're harder to get tickets. But there's going to be games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against opponents that don't have such a high, attractiveness to our fans.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get a ticket for starting at $5. I mean, we had $5 tickets this weekend against the A's. We have $8 tickets coming up against the Marlins.
Wow.
So we're able to kind of find unique ways to promote that and have our fans on Facebook and Twitter specifically, and Google Plus we've even used to purchase those tickets. So it's fun. It's working with the ticket department to say, okay, we're doing check-in deals through Foursquare. So fans that check in through we have a brand new Ballpark at the Ballpark app that you'll download, and you check in through Foursquare through that, and we're always going to have some sort of deal, whether it's a free T-shirt or it could be or an exclusive ticketing deal. So it's coming up with unique ways and finding different channels and seeing what works. And it's always, like you said earlier, ideas sound great on paper, but then it's always, we have numbers to kind of support or, figure it didn't work as well as we thought it would. So let's try something else. But no, we've had a lot of success with selling, with kind of placing promotions and unique value opportunities to fans through social media. And I think that's the key, is understanding what those value propositions are. What works with this group, what doesn't work.
Right.
And so you're not just throwing all your ticket deals, hey, Giants versus the Phillies this weekend, buy tickets now. It's coming up with that unique ticket value and saying this one's going to work, let's focus this, and almost doing a flash sale if that's what you want to do, or a 6-pack. So I think understanding what works with different demographics, what works with those networks, and trying it out that way.
So you guys are tracking the success on the different platforms as well. So if you put out
Sure.
excuse me, a link on Twitter, for example, for these dynamic deals coming up this weekend, and Facebook, they're different. You can track the success rate on both.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's the beauty of working with MLB.com and our ticketing department, and being able to track everything and get into reports and learning what worked, what didn't, and just in general social media. I mean, I think it's important that we it's not as I try to put a lot more content out than marketing messages. So
Yes.
the focus in any kind of marketing message, that it's still considered value to the customer, that they don't consider it a advertisement or spam per se, that they
Right.
still find value in it. So that's a challenge, but it's also part of learning the behaviors of your fans in those specific networks.
Have you found the ratio that seems to work the best? Is it 1 out of every 5 messages?
I think it's 80-20.
Is it?
I don't know.
That applies to everything in life, right?
Yeah, the 80-20. Yeah, I wear 20% of my shirts 80% of the time, right? So
There you go.
I read that somewhere, but no, I mean, I think if 1 out of every 5 of your messages, but I think there's sometimes where I don't do any marketing messages, and it's just very focused on the engagement. Like today, there's a lot of excitement about opening day, and it's just not the right time, I think, to I think people are going to be focused on the game, and give me more pictures. What's the lineup? I want
Yeah,
So I think it's also that understanding the context as well.
for sure. All right, so I'm going to spin things a little bit here. I really appreciate you taking all this time to chat with me, Bryan. I know we've been on the line for like 45 minutes or so now.
Time has just flown by, Trevor. Like two guys. I feel like we should have lunch now, and it's been a lot of fun for me. No,
Well,
it's
hey,
fun.
I'll definitely follow up with you on that, because I am planning a nice little baseball trip down the West Coast in July. So
You bet you knew who to call. Better you know who to tweet us at SF Giants. Take good care of you, Trevor.
awesome. That's good to know. Good to know. There's a lot of teams down the West Coast. It's going to be a fun trip. I'm dead serious, too. I'm coming down there.